On February 19, 2014, a 37-year-old immigrant named Jan Koum walked up to an abandoned building in Mountain View, California. He wasn't there to buy the building. He was there to sign a contract that would make him one of the richest men on the planet. The building was a former welfare office. Years earlier, Jan and his mother had stood in line there just to get enough food stamps to survive. Now he was signing a deal to sell his app, WhatsApp, to Facebook for $19 billion. But this isn't just a story about a lucky app. It's a story about a man who hated advertising, refused to be a CEO, and built a global empire by following one simple rule: no games, no ads, no gimmicks. Jan Koum was born in a small village outside Kyiv, Ukraine in 1976. Life in the Soviet Union was hard. His school didn't even have an indoor bathroom. To avoid being monitored by the state, his family rarely spoke on the phone. This early experience with a police state would later become the reason WhatsApp pioneered end-to-end encryption. At age 16, Jan and his mother fled to the United States to escape the political climate. They settled in a small apartment in California with nothing but a few suitcases. Jan's mother worked as a babysitter. Jan swept the floors of a local grocery store. But while he was sweeping floors, he was also teaching himself computer networking by buying used manuals from bookstores and returning them when he was done. By 18, he was a self-taught hacker. Jan eventually landed a job at Yahoo, where he met his future co-founder Brian Acton. They worked there for 9 years, but they both hated the direction the internet was going. Everything was about ads, tracking data, and eyeballs. In 2007, they both quit. They took a year off to travel. Then, in 2009, they both applied for jobs at the hottest new tech companies, Facebook and Twitter. Both companies rejected them. Instead of being discouraged, Jan bought an iPhone. He saw the App Store was only 7 months old and realized its potential. He wanted a way for people to show statuses next to their names, like at the gym or battery low. He called it WhatsApp because it sounded like "what's up?" The first version of WhatsApp was a total failure. It crashed constantly. No one downloaded it. Jan almost gave up and looked for a real job. But then Apple launched push notifications. Suddenly, when a friend changed their status, everyone's phone pinged. People started using it to ping each other back and forth. Jan realized he hadn't built a status app. He had built a free global replacement for SMS texting. Unlike every other Silicon Valley startup, Jan didn't spend a single dollar on marketing. He didn't even have a sign on the WhatsApp office door. He focused entirely on a no-nonsense experience. No ads, no stickers, just fast, private messaging. By 2013, they had 200 million active users and only 50 employees. Mark Zuckerberg noticed. He saw that WhatsApp was growing faster than Facebook ever had. He invited Jan to dinner and offered to buy the company. Jan agreed, but on one condition: WhatsApp had to remain independent and ad-free. On the day of the signing, Jan didn't go to a fancy hotel or a law firm. He drove his Porsche to the door of that old welfare office where he used to stand in line for food stamps. He signed the papers on the door. It was the ultimate full-circle moment in business history. Jan Koum's journey shows that your background doesn't define your ceiling. He used his struggle, the lack of privacy in the Soviet Union, and the poverty of his youth to build a tool that now connects over 2 billion people. His lesson? Focus on the product, not the noise. In an age of flashy marketing, sometimes being the quietest person in the room is what makes you the loudest success. What's your favorite zero to hero story? Tell me in the comments below. And if you want to see the blueprint of more billionaires like Mark Cuban or Elon Musk, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.